game number one, and that is Illinois State. So the Redbirds, a preseason top 25 in the FCS. I know you don't do analytics for FCS opponents, but
Right.
you coached a lot of quality FCS teams, and you know a little something about the Illinois State Redbirds. They lost 5 games last year, 4 of which were by, I believe, 4 points or less. Their one blowout loss was to national champion South Dakota State. What can you tell us about the Redbirds and give us your confidence level? Obviously, the Iowa's expected to take care of business, but they'll be having to do so without Bud Meyer, without Kirk, without Caleb Brown, and they banged up Phil Parker, who tore his labrum and his rotator cuff last month.
Well, Illinois State, I do know a lot about them. I know their head coach very well. Brock Spack is a guy we tried to recruit when we first came to Iowa. So I've known him ever since he was 18 years old. He's a no-nonsense coach. I will guarantee you that they will have very good team discipline. I've done some of the games when I've worked as an analyst in TV for Missouri Valley, and they're always well coached. And as you mentioned, they were a little bit unlucky with a lot of one-score losses last year. They are a dangerous team, and they'll be excited about playing, of course, in Kinnick. And I do think it's important that we don't take them lightly. I don't think we will. I think our coaches will do a good job of educating our guys about what the FCS brings to the table. Let's not forget it hadn't been that many years since South Dakota State and North Dakota State gave us fits in Kinnick. North Dakota State beat us, of course, in Kinnick, as you recall. So it'll be a challenge. And having said that, we need to show up and play like we're playing against a Big Ten opponent. And if we do that, I think we will have a chance before the game ends to play a lot of players and gain some confidence with how we can play. In that regard, I think I'd be very disappointed if it's not a double-digit win. I'd like to think it could be more than that, but I don't know that because Illinois State, that's a very good league, Corey, as you know. That's the best FCS league in the country. So those guys are not going to lie down. They're going to play, and they're going to give nothing but their best. And it would behoove us if we do the same that they're doing.
And I do want to make a little correction because I'm sure people will flock to the comment section if I don't. They were not picked upper half. Technically speaking, they're picked basically right in the middle. They're picked 6th in the conference. But as you mentioned, strongest conference at the FCS level. And Iowa struggled a couple of years ago with a season opening game against an FCS opponent, nearly lost to South Dakota State. Now, I know that team won a national title, but,
right.
Unique circumstances. Kirk hasn't been off the field for a game since 1998. Don, how does that change Iowa's approach on game day with Seth Wallace taking over as head coach, acting head coach on August 31st? How does that actually work practically? How does it change the functionality of what's happening on game day?
Well, the good news is Kirk's going to be the head football coach all the way up through Friday night. So the game week next week is going to be the usual game week preparation that we always have. Friday night's not going to be any different than it ever is. Saturday will change, and it'll be a new experience for everyone in the room. I'm sure that Kirk and Seth are going to talk about exactly what the plan is for addressing the team on Saturday. The coaches are all going to do their job. Let's just think back to the fact that Michigan was successful in the latter part of the season, though, without Jim Harbaugh. They seem to hold up just fine with an interim head coach just for the day or for the week. And we'll do the same. Our players, I'm so impressed with our players from a character standpoint. They have also a no-nonsense attitude about football. I'd be surprised if they underestimate Illinois State. I think they fully expect and understand they're going to get a fanatical effort out of Illinois State, at least for a while. And the challenge for us is, can we wear them down? Can we get them discouraged to the point that we really start thoroughly dominating the game? I don't know that we can get that done, but we should try. It's no different than a wrestling match or a boxing match. If you're the heavy favorite, what you don't want to do is just kind of hang around, let the other guy hang around, because as the match goes on, who's to say he might not land a lucky punch? The only chance for an underdog to win is for you to let them hang around and then get lucky at the end of the game to the tune of the winning touchdown. So let's go out and have a no-nonsense attitude. Let's put them away as quick as we can. If we can do that, let's do it. That'll give us a chance to play more players. It'll give us a chance to keep our starters healthy for the next game. It's a long season, but we all have to approach them the same way. Anybody's capable of getting you, to include Illinois State.
Patterson. Join myself and Coach P each and every Saturday, each and every weekend following the game. And if for some reason there's a schedule issue or an interference, then we are live on Sunday. There's always some form of a post-game show Saturday, but then we'll also hit the airwaves on Sunday.